Marcus Mariota. How are you, Marcus?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I am doing fine. Let me ask you, I guess, straight up. We chatted about you, if your ears were burning, with Mike Mack about 15 minutes ago, saying that he's still as bullish about you and your future as he was when you came out of Oregon, but thinks that you're not 100% healthy, and thus your game isn't as on point because you can't use your legs like you're used to using. Would you say that's a fair assessment, Marcus?
Yeah, I mean, I'll never make an excuse. I think week in and week out across the league, there's guys that have to play with some, and that's me too. And when it comes down to it, I just got to find ways to make plays and put our team in the best situation possible.
And how is this offense suited to your abilities, Marcus?
Well, the coaches do a good job of mixing spread concepts as well as being able to run the football downhill. And I think it's tough on defenses. And when we're rolling, when everyone's executing, we've done fairly well.
And how do you what do you take out of your night in Pittsburgh that we all saw on NFL Network and NBC last week?
Yeah, just being smarter with the football. I think at times, you sit in the pocket. I believe I can make every throw. I can do everything that's asked of me. And when it comes down to it, maybe a guy's covered just using my legs. Taking a 5-yard gain or even a sack rather than turning the football over. And, obviously it can't put our team in those situations. When you turn over the ball 4 times, it's tough to win. And I'll definitely learn from it and be better from it.
But are you able to run at full speed right now, do you think?
I'm getting there.
Okay. Marcus Mariota here on the Rich Eisen Show. And in terms of the game for you now, as when you first came out a couple of years ago from Oregon, how have you changed? How are you better formed and fit for the NFL?
Well, I think from, college and playing at Oregon, everything that we did there, week in and week out, just with the tempo that we played, teams had a tough time disguising and really getting into different looks on defense. And, one of the adjustments that I had to go through in the league was, different disguises, being able to move protections and making sure everyone's going in the same direction. And I think I've gotten better at it. Obviously, I can do a better job. But from where I was coming out of Oregon to where I'm at now, I think I've learned a lot from that standpoint.
So in terms of coming out of Oregon, I'm sure you're hearing that Chip Kelly might be getting back into the college game. And how strange would it be if he's back in the Pac-12, but for UCLA, Marcus?
Yeah, it'd be different. It'd be really different. But I'm sure Coach Kelly would love the opportunity to coach again, and I think wherever he may go, he'll find some success.
How often do you talk to him?
Every now and then. He does check in, and I always appreciate the fact that he asks how my family or how I'm doing, and from that standpoint, he's a good guy, and I've always appreciated everything he's done for me.
So the last text you received from him was this morning saying, should I go to UCLA or Florida? Right, Marcus? You got that text today?
No, I did not.
You did not get that text today. Damn, I guess my information is off. Do you have any sense of what he might be thinking about what he's doing, Marcus?
That's tough to say. I think Coach Kelly plays his cards close to the chest. And really the only person that knows what he's going to do is him.
Okay. Now, I want to ask you about Baker Mayfield, if I may. You have a vote in the Heisman Trophy, being a winner yourself. The conversation this week has been that just maybe that wasn't a Heisman Trophy-worthy moment that he had against Kansas, and thus he doesn't deserve the trophy or should get knocked down a peg or two. Where do you stand on that subject, Marcus?
Man, I'm on the fence, to be honest with you. I think he's done a great job all year of finding ways to win games. And I think being around the trophy committee and being around just the culture of those guys, I do think holding yourself to a higher standard is a part of the Heisman Trophy. And, unfortunately, he was in the heat of the moment, and, that stuff kind of happens. But, we'll see as it goes, but, you can't knock the fact that he's been probably one of the better players in the country this year.
But as somebody for whom, the trophy stands for something about fair play and high class, you think that are you on the fence as to whether that was a disqualifying moment for him, Marcus?
That's not a decision, I'm planning to make. Obviously, there's going to be other voters that may feel differently, but, when it comes down to it, when we have to put in our votes, I'll take in everything and just make who I think is the best player in the country.
So who else has caught your eye on that front?
Oh, man. I think there's a bunch of guys that are playing very well. The running back from Stanford has played well. Penn State guy has also played very well.
Yeah, Saquon, right?
Yes, absolutely. And I for me personally, just from watching from afar, I think Lamar's had a pretty good year, and he's not getting a lot of love just because of what's going on with his team, but that guy's a stud, and I think he's played fairly well this year.
And how Marcus Mariota, a couple more minutes here with the Tennessee Titans quarterback here on the Rich Eisen show. How was watching the Predators do what they did and see how the town reacted to it? How has that been placed in your mind's eye about trying to replicate that on the football side of things with your team, Marcus?
Definitely. It was a fun atmosphere to be part of. It was just really enjoyable to be able to go and watch those guys do what they do and to play with the physicality and the mindset that they did. We'd love to be a part of that. We'd love to get this city going again. And, obviously we had a little hiccup last week, but I think we're going in the right direction. We just got to continue to take it 1 week at a time.
Now, were you part of that catfish hiding crew? I mean, did you sneak it in the game with Taylor and the rest of your O-linemen? Where were you on that front?
I was with him, for sure.
So you were not part of any caper, is what you're saying, Marcus?
I wouldn't say that, but it was, you know what, we enjoyed it, and we're very, very fortunate that they allowed us to be around the team.
Nice, that's great. And how often do you have to tell Taylor Lewan, just he's my Michigan guy, just like chill out, just let's take it down from 11 to 10. You ever do that, Marcus? You need to do that with him?
Every now and then, but I love the way that guy plays. I love the intensity he plays at. And I think when you have a guy like that on the offensive line, he gets everybody else going. And we're very privileged to have him, and I think he's one of our better players.
Yeah, man. I mean, he came up to me at halftime in Pittsburgh, or I went up to him, and he just looks at me and goes, we're going to have the greatest comeback ever. You just watch it. This is coming right now. He just almost knocked me, and it was Rodney Harrison over, too. Obviously, you don't have to tell me about him, but I just find it funny sometimes that he's kind of fire and you're ice in that.
I guess
in that setting.
I love playing with that guy. He's a whole lot of fun.
Okay, ask him the poll question before we let Marcus Mariota out the door here.
Yeah, Marcus, what's the best Thanksgiving dessert? Pumpkin pie, apple pie, pecan pie, or sweet potato pie?
Where do you land on this, Marcus?
I'm gonna go with apple pie.
Look at that.
All-American.
You are all-American through and through, Marcus.
Hey, I appreciate it.
So, and what is your Thanksgiving going to be like? Walk me through what that looks like for somebody who's a QB1 in the NFL tomorrow.
It'll be fairly quiet. My girlfriend will be cooking up dinner, and she's got some family in town, and I think we'll have some of the guys over and just kind of relax, watch some football, and enjoy the day together.
Lewan, is he coming tomorrow?
We'll see. I think he's got some plans.
Okay. Because, if you've got O-linemen, and you better get, one of those 30-pound turkeys. I would think.
No doubt.
Okay, Marcus, you take care of yourself, okay? We'll chat soon.
Sounds good. Thank you guys for having me.
You got it. Marcus Mariota.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.